cutting edge column freezing. This is an exciting feature release for me because we have experimented with our column freezing. The cutting edge column freezing is kind of a, what can I say, it's an experimental feature that we have introduced. A small change that makes a big difference in how you view your data. All right. So let's go to our software and I'll show it to you. So where can we, freeze our data or columns? It will be in our smart view. So for that, we need to first of all go into our settings. And under settings, you can under experimental features, you could see the smart view freeze. So in this particular branch, I've already enabled it. But since this is an experimental feature, all of you won't be able to see this under the experimental feature section. So for that, you will have to reach out to your service partners and ask them to enable it for you for your specific workspace. So once they enable it for you, you will be able to see it under the experimental feature section. So you open it, and for which particular branch you want to enable it, you can enable it. And once it is enabled, I'm going to go into the customer section or maybe into the invoice section. And under invoice section, I can go to view settings. So we only have a single smart view here. That is a primary view. So I'm going to edit it. So under view settings, we can go to view edit. And under the column section here, we can see that there are selected columns. There are 9 selected columns. And if you want to further add columns from here, you are good to go with that. Now, how can we freeze the columns and how much columns can we freeze right now? That's the first question. Since this is an experimental feature, we have already provided the option to freeze the first 2 columns. It can be whichever columns that you want to, like if I want to keep the status as my first column, I will be able to freeze status. But if status is my 5th or 6th column, I won't be able to freeze it. So for the first 2 columns under the smart view, you will be able to see the freeze option. All right. So I'm going to freeze this one and I'm going to freeze this one, the ID and the customer name. All right. Or I'm not going to. OK, let's do one thing. Let's just freeze the first one alone. So once this is frozen, OK, sorry for that. Let's go back to invoice. OK, we only have a limited number of columns here, right? So I'm going to do another thing. Let me just add few more detail like GSTIN, salesperson, then anything, yeah, customer form, customer currency, and that's it. I think it will be enough for us to work on this one. Still, we have a lot of space. OK, I'll have to further edit it. Yes. So in such situations, this is a normal case. This is the way in which we will be moving, right? So, OK, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add few more columns. Yes. So in such situations, we'll go to edit view. So here it is. So right now with the column freezing, we can freeze up to 2 columns in a smart view. So the invoice ID and the customer name has been frozen right now, and we will be able to move like this. That is a way the column can be frozen. So let me just show it to you. Go under the options here, close to the name of the column, you will be having a freeze option. So the first 2 columns, you will be able to observe it. But from the 3rd one onwards, you won't be able to see it. And one more major point I want to stress on is that this is just an experimental feature right now. We have released it in a beta manner. And once we go through all the different use cases, we will be releasing it on a grand manner, not as a beta feature or not as an experimental feature. So in such a point, you will be getting it directly here. You at that point, you won't necessarily have to ask your service partner to enable it in your workspace. All right. But right now, you will have to communicate this. All right. So if there is any doubts, I know that sometimes it's not that easy to understand. So if you're having any doubts, you can ask me. Nothing. I can see no doubts, no doubts, no doubts. Okay, no doubts from the audience. So we'll continue then. We'll move to our first enhancement. The feature updates are done. Sleek purchases report redesigned. So in the past few months, we were redesigning, many reports one by one. Right now, in the past week, the purchase reports turn has come, and we have worked on our purchase report. So let's go to our report section. Let's search for purchase report. Here we have it. I'm going to filter the date for this financial year for all suppliers, all status, for first branch, and I have not chosen any cost center. Now let's download it in a PDF format. It has downloaded, and if you open it, yes, this is the new format, the way in which the designing is done. Okay, so that was a very small enhancement that we made, but a significant one. And moving forward, similar to what we did with our purchase report, we will be implementing the same in our rest of the reports, which even right now works with the older design. All right, so wait for it. Next, URL custom fields upgrade. So everybody, I'm sure that you're all aware about the fact that we can create custom fields having the field type as URL. You will be able to provide links there. But right now we have made a small tweak to that. Hyperlinking gets better. How the URL custom fields can now be set to open on a new tab across all the list, views, and RSP, the right sidebar. So how can we do that? Let's see. Here, we'll go to the custom field section, and under customer, we'll keep field name as link. Let's say field type will be URL. No default values shown will view. Let's keep it like that. Okay, the custom field has been created. Let's create a new customer. Devadut. Nothing else. The link. So www.yahoo.com. That'll be like this. And let's save. GST number. Okay, let's keep it as unregistered and save. So here I have not added any other detail because it's not relevant. You can see under the custom field, we have Yahoo. So if you click on Yahoo, it gets opened in another tab. All right. I can do this if I come to this page also. Right now, we don't have a column called link. So let me add it first in the smart view. You can submit it. We can customize the view here and the link. The link part. Okay, name. Yes, here it is. So in the list also, I'll be able to directly open it. Okay, there's a 404 error coming up. Let me just work on it. Yeah, anyway, I'll be working on it. So we have introduced this particular feature. In the RSP also, we will be able to get it. So let's create an invoice. Yes. So in an invoice also, there is a custom view. custom field, and if you click on it, you will be able to open it. All right. So that is the way in which the URL custom field upgrade has been made. So you will be able to open the link across new tabs in your lists, in your views, and your right sidebar. Okay, moving forward into some of our resolved issues. So these are some issues that are really unique and like some funny issues also. So double trouble press and filter fix. So double trouble press, we fixed that pesky issue where the pressing the enter key twice resulted in multiple purchase bill creation. Okay, so let me just explain the situation here. There were customers creating purchase bills. So if they were like depending a lot on their keyboards, while clicking on the save button, let me just show it to you. If you are creating a new purchase bill and you have added all your items here after adding the customer name, and rather than clicking on the save with your mouse or with your trackpad, if you navigated with your keyboard and clicked on or on pressed your enter key for saving the file, if you have pressed the enter key multiple times, it was not creating a single purchase bill, it was creating multiple purchase bill. So it was just like the purchase bill was getting cloned with a different series code or the series number. So I mean, this issue came to us a long time back, and we tried to resolve it in different manner, but we got to the root of the problem few weeks back and got to understand that this was happening not for every customer, it was happening specifically for customers who were highly dependent on the keyboard. And then we got to realize how this was happening. So last week, we resolved it completely. Next, we'll be speaking about filter fixes. The advanced filter, which is not empty, filter type is back in action and working as intended. No more dilemmas there. So earlier, when we introduced our advanced filter option, so let's go to our customer side. So here you can see that let's take a case in which, yeah, there are so many customers against which we don't have the GST-IN present. So if we go to our advanced, add advanced rule or advanced filter section, here I can add a group filter where the filter will be applied for GST-IN, which is not empty, right? Now, what do we expect? I mean, normal circumstances, we expect that we get the details or a list of the customers for the GST-IN is not empty, right? But earlier it was not working. That particular one was not working as intended. So right now it will be working as intended. We will be getting the list of customers here. Let me just show it to you like this, show all. Every customer who has some kind of a value input under the GST field will be shown here. So it is working exactly as intended. The next one, the final issue we fixed. This is the one that I just spoke of. It's a very unique one. User management update. Deleting users active in multiple branches is no longer a problem, facilitating a smooth cleanup process. Now, this can only happen if a single email address has been used in multiple workspaces with multiple branches. So the chances of that happening is pretty low, I would say. We found this issue internally itself while we were working with our workspaces. So we have fixed that. All right. This was never noted by any of our users because the chance of this happening is, close to nil, I would say. So we found it out from our side itself and we fixed it on spot. So those were the issues, enhancements, and the feature updates that we had. So we started with multi-select magic. So let me just iterate it once again. Everybody knew or everybody know that there is a lookup custom field that we can create. And right now we have introduced multi-select lookup field. Why? If you have multiple data to be pulled from right now from customer, supplier, or from lead module, you will be able to do that without any hassle. Next, we have introduced a bulk delete option for under the catalog. Then we have introduced an experimental feature, which is a cutting edge column freezing. You will be able to apply this in every smart view you have, in every view you create. The only constraint or limitation that you will be facing is that this is restricted to the first two columns of your view. Next one is the sleek purchase design. So right, like I said, we've been redesigning the output PDF of multiple reports in the past few months, and for every week we'll be selecting one particular a particular report in priority, and we'll be working things out in that. And last week, the chance came to purchase report, and purchase report output PDF has been redesigned. Next, everybody are aware that we can add custom fields with the field type as URL, right? But till last week, when we click on that particular URL, once that particular bill or anything that has been created, it will be opening up in the same tab itself. Right now, we have developed a different way to open it in a new tab, whether you're opening it from a list, from a view, or from your right sidebar. And finally, the resolved issues like the double trouble press, the filter fixing, and finally the user management update, that is the smooth deletion process when it comes to users which were present in multiple branches across multiple domains or workspaces. All right. So right now it's your time to ask your doubts regarding whatever thing, regarding all the different features and enhancements that we just made. All right, shoot. I'm here to help you out. Our team is here to help you out. If you're having any specific doubts regarding the software, not only about this particular week's feature release, anything in general can also be asked. So, okay, Nivedita is asking me that when will you be bringing freezing, uh, freezing formula? I didn't really get you on the freezing formula into the whole software. Okay, I think there was a small mistake while you're typing or something like that. I didn't really get you regarding the freezing formula thing. Okay, let me just give you a general answer on it. The cutting edge column freezing is right now an experimental feature. Maybe, okay, sorry for that. Okay, fine. So the freezing column is an experimental feature right now, and we will be definitely introducing it ASAP into the software. We have to work a lot of things out to implement that particular feature. So there are a lot of internal discussions happening there. And right now there is a restriction, and we'll be bit by bit taking away that restriction and implementing it for multiple columns. All right. Yes. Anything else? Any other doubts? The URL didn't open in the list. Yes, the URL didn't open in the list. I will be taking a closer look into what happened there. It was a 404 error. So I got an idea what happened there, but I need to speak with my team to make sure that it's not an error from our side. All right, we'll be taking a look and we'll be informing everyone regarding that also. Any other doubts? Any other questions? If you're not having any questions, then I think it will be time for me to wrap this up. Like always, thank you everyone for attending this webinar once again. It's a pleasure to see all of your bright faces every 2 week, because I know that just like us, our team, you're also really excited for the updates, right? Gratitude from my side and from the whole team for joining and for using EalSuite also. All right. If there is any more doubts that you're having, you can reach out to your service partners. You can directly reach out to our service or our support team. They will be they'll be really happy to cater to your queries. All right. So that's bye from my side. We'll again be meeting in 2 weeks' time. Bye everyone. Take care.